Hi everyone, and welcome to another session of Making Soap with Nathan. We made the soap last week on live, and I'm making it again because everyone wanted it. We've got our new setup, we've got our cinematic mode. Thank you, iPhone 13 Plus. You make me look so good. We've got our ring lights, which also give me horrible glare. But I can't wear contacts because they kill my eyes. Okay. So we are remaking the soap. It's called Cinnamon Swirl. The Instagram Live video footage, which you can download, is absolutely garbo for repurposing. So I'm like, let's try all sorts of new things today. So we are making Cinnamon Swirl, which we're using cinnamon sugar tails from, ooh, yes, it's spicy and sweet. This is from Island Escape from Canada. My blessed friend, July from Winnie and Walt sent it to me on my last order because she made a bath bomb with it and it smelled absolutely amazeballs, and I just had to make a soap. Okay, and I made a soap and it turned out incredible and everyone wanted it, so I'm making it here again. So, okay, we're using Winter White from Nurture Soap. Oh, by the way, I have a link in my description and also on Instagram in my bio to my affiliate link for Nurture Soap. I'm not trying to sell it, but everyone always asks me where I get my colorants, and I get that from Nurture Soap. So if you're gonna buy from Nurture Soap, use my link, and I can get a nice little to help my soap making addiction. So we've got Winter White here from Nurture Soap. I don't use titanium dioxide anymore because I don't like it, and for all the reasons. And we're using Copper Penny Gorge. And finally, we're using a mocha. Yes, yes, yes. These are all mixed with olive oil, like pre-blended, and cinnamon in a fragrance. Generally, you can't use as much because cinnamon is like a hot oil and you're not supposed to use it like on your skin, but this one is skin safe up to 2.1%. So we are using as much as we can because we want it to smell absolutely amazeballs. And oh yeah, since I'm so bad at promoting myself, I'm trying this YouTube thing. So if you found this video informative or helpful or just entertaining or whatever, please give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm jumping on this YouTube train like so late, but I do everything on Instagram. So. Now we're doing some stuff on YouTube. Okay, so we've got our coconut milk blended into our oils today. Let's get started, actually, because I hope the cinematic mode is not gonna have, it's probably gonna focus on like the top of the stick blender, but as we get going, hopefully it will learn and figure stuff out. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this down, and it's gonna probably look a little blurry. Stop focusing on me. Focus here. There. Focus. Thank you. And it's still like, yes, you can see this. And actually it's like, now is when I should show my colors. We've got Winter White from Nurture Soap. Yes. Copper Penny, gorgeous. It's like a metallic color, love it. And then, whoa. And then we've got our delicious mocha. Okay. We've got a 36% lye solution right here. And because we had it in our basement earlier today, it gets kind of chunky because it reacts with the air. And then when it's really cold, I find specifically, it gets this lye lint on it. And you just gotta strain it out, no big deal. No big deal. This also has Tussa Silk in it. And then this right here has the coconut milk. So let's get this poured. I'm gonna use a strainer today because I always strain everything now. And 36% lye solution is my jam. I use it as much as I can now. It's like the most gorgeous buttery texture for soap. I don't have any glycerin rivers. It gives me almost the same amount of time as 33%, which I did for a very long time. And I still use that on some occasion. We're using a horizontal swirl on this one. And so it doesn't really matter if the batter is a little bit thicker. We kind of want it to be thicker to get more, because when your batter is really thin, you can sometimes like cause your colors to muddle. You don't want that. No, you don't want that. Let's just make sure we get the rest of this water in here. Okay. I think we're good. Wanda, because We're doing this out of our basement. The water heater might show up and be like, "Ah." Because oftentimes when I'm making soap, Brandon likes to take a bath or a shower or something, and then you end up with what I like to call Wanda just blaring her head off, trying to heat that water up. Okay, so we are going to give this, I like to stir this up, get the lye mostly mixed in, and we are going to get stirring. Here we go, guys. It's gonna turn chunky here as we go through sort of that, what do you call it? It goes through a phase, like a false trace. So we're just trying to bring it just to emulsion. And you guys, everyone's recipe is different. So the amount of time that I'm stick blending can be completely different to the amount of time that you're stick blending. I just know about how much I need to stick blend to get to the right amount. And also you can tell by how your batter looks, because we're going through sort of like a separated phase right now, and it's going to actually like come together and be silky smooth in a hot second. So. Gonna give this a little extra blend. We were almost there. Okay. And we're donezo with the stick blending. And I'll do another video here in a bit. Probably a video just talking about how to keep your batter a little bit thinner. People ask all the time, how do you keep your batter so thin? Well, it's magic. And I'm gonna make a mess with the stick blender. I just know it. Because I didn't pull, I did pull off a piece. Great. And now I'm going to officially unplug this guy and move it out of the way because it causes me so much trouble. It's always in the way. Get away. And I'm going to drop on the floor and, make a mess. Okay. So, look at this glossiness right here. It's so gorge as I'm biting my paper towels. Okay. So we are just at emulsion. We have this beautiful texture here. There's no separation. It's coating the back of the spoon nicely, or the spatula. We're gonna add our fragrance early. I like to add my fragrance. Sometimes I add it at the end, depending if it's a new fragrance. I've used this before, it behaves so well. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour this in right now, because I like when the batter is really nicely incorporated. The fragrance, because if you add it sometimes at the end, you can end up with your batter can come to trace at different speeds, and when you add it all right here, it comes to trace all at the same speed. So all of your batter is basically moving at the same time, because if you sometimes you add too much fragrance to one of your amounts later, if you add it later, you can sometimes end up with batter that is thicker than others, and that can lead to all sorts of problems, especially when you're trying to do like a million things at once, and that's like the last thing that you want to happen. Like just another thing when you're trying to like manage 100 things. Okay, so I don't really need this anymore. I'm gonna put this away, Hopefully you're hanging in there, and hopefully this camera is doing justice to this and it's not all blurry, because otherwise once I make this again. Alright, So we are going to actually separate this out into 3 equal sizes. So I'm going to get my little, I love this scale here. I was like, I'm just going to pour it straight on the scale. No, I actually need, it's about 1,500 grams. And I actually mixed my oils up in here earlier. I heated them up in the microwave, so I actually like am reusing a container that's got a little bit of oil in it. It works really well. Alright, so we're going to add about 1,500 grams. I know you can't see the top of my scale, but just trust me, it's about 1,500 grams because I make about a 4,500 gram batch here. We'll go about 1450 because it's just a little bit lower because I use a little less fragrance in this one. Got another little thing here. Let's get this guy, well, I should probably tear it out first, like a loser. Okay. Batter is looking gorgeous. Trying to avoid air bubbles too, so pouring slowly can help with that. Okay, we are about even here. Even Stevens, and now I can put this away because this always, working in your basement, you might only have a little bit of space, and I am one of those people who has needs space. And it's really aggravating sometimes. It's like, I wish that I had a, so my goal in life is to have an island. Like in a kitchen somewhere for something, it doesn't even matter. Like I am missing an island in my life. 100%. Okay, so I'm gonna add most of this brown here because I'm gonna save some for the top. We're not gonna add all of it, but we're gonna add most of it. Try and make this lovely dark brown color again. You guys, this smells so incredible. This cinnamon scent, I'm obsessed with. So one thing is, so everyone has their own scent preferences, and I'm always trying to make something for my mom. So my mom was someone who kind of taught me how to make soap. Like we started, like I just like went over one day, I was like, I want to know how to make soap, Mom. So she taught me a 100% lard soap recipe. And I found out, not then, but relatively recently, that she's like really sensitive to smells, but she loves spicy smells. So like she was smelling my soap the other day and she always kind of like puts it away. Like I'm always like, do you not want to smell that more? And I found out that it's because she's sensitive to it. And so making this cinnamon scent, I'm like kind of excited to share this with her because she doesn't, I mean, she's my mom and she takes good care of me and she supports me and all that stuff. But I always am like trying to get like, I don't know, I want her to enjoy my soap, like something that's just like made just for her, because she's happy to just take like whatever I give her. Like I'll like all these soap ends or whatever I'll give her all those, and she's just like, you know, she takes care of all of them and she uses them, and she's just, my mom is like the epitome of like someone who is like she grew up in the wrong time. Like she is a pioneer like through and through. Like she has like food storage, she makes like all of her own jam and like butter and like, I don't know, she's just like superwoman. So, and I don't take after that. I take after it in that I feel crafty. I mean, she definitely instilled a craftiness in all of us. Because my sisters, if you don't follow them on Instagram, you should, because my sister, Simply Eileen, and sister, the Sawdust Makery, make absolutely gorgeous stuff, and they are so talented. All right, and we've got our white here. Our batter is sort of starting to thicken up a touch, and that's okay still. We still have time, because after we're done with this, we're basically pouring. And with this white, I never wanted it to be like stark white. I always wanted it to be a creamy white, because when you make cinnamon rolls, you're not making cinnamon rolls with like stark white, like ever. Like the cinnamon rolls sort of have like a beige color to them. And it just gives you more of like a bakery, creamy sort of vibe, because the stark white doesn't give that to me. Plus, it's going to contrast better, I feel like, with these other, it's going to complement these other colors better. We are just at like a perfect spot to actually pour this, because this batter is looking like it just got to like a light trace. So now I'm going to move, as I fight for space, always, I'm going to try and move this stuff out of the way so we can get a really nice pour. I'm going to grab my mold here. And we'll see if we can actually get it to like focus. Does that look blurry? We'll try it. We're trying it. It is what it is. Okay, so we weren't gonna use any rhyme or reason to this pour. So we're doing a horizontal swirl, which means we just sort of layer in the colors. You don't really have a specific, it's almost just like, I don't know what you want to call it. We're just doing a drop swirl basically to get these colors layered in, because then we're going to use the hanger tool in a second to like go back and forth. And we just want all the colors sort of commingled, like evenly. Now we'll grab our white. Look how creamy gorgeous that is. We'll try and do like 3 layers. So I've done 2 pours now. We'll do 3 pours of each color. How is that? So when you're doing this, you want to break through the surface. You don't want it all to sit on top. All right. Got a little bit of this white left. And one thing I found is when I get to this texture, I can just basically pour the rest of this in, and then what's left on the bowl I can use for my top, like, because then I don't end up with a whole bunch of extra soap. So now like all of this stuff right here I'll just use on the top, and that will be a good amount. Just a little bit left on the white. We didn't have a lot. It felt like there was less white in here than last time. That's okay. Still a gorgeous color. Let's give this a little tap. We make this in the basement on top of our washer and dryer. So we're gonna go down, and then we're just going back and forth, going up just a little bit every time. Then we're gonna go back down. I find 2 passes makes the right amount. Just come up with that. I'm gonna move that away. Another quick tap down here. All right. And now we can start making some cute lines, because that's one thing I like to do with my tops. You didn't realize that I like to make cute lines on top of my soap. Because this, when I do it this way, it allows me to get all the colors in there, and it also allows me to kind of create a surface that you can kind of draw on. Like, it makes the surface because when I go back and forth with my design, it kind of creates it just creates like a blank canvas. But it's not a blank canvas, but you know what I mean? It creates this sort of like even canvas so that your designs and your patterns look really cool. So this is just my method that I've always used for creating a cool sort of design on top. And I'm trying to try and use the rest of this soap. I'm trying to get better about not having any soap go like in a cup, because I used to put all my soap in like a cup, all my leftover soap, and I don't need to do that anymore because I am just I'm evolving and getting better at it. Okay, that was pretty good. We got most of that. And we've got this gorgeous honey color, which is this copper penny. Actually, we'll just fill that in because I think we've got enough to sort of fill in this whole side here. Because I'm going to fill in the other side. And then we'll put the white in the center. This is always the hard part. Like pouring on this side is always the hardest part. Trying to get it not all over the mold. Well, also trying not to get brown, like cover up our, making splotches, that bothers me. This is definitely, the next part is definitely my favorite part of making soap. I'm just like, can I please just swirl the top of soaps always? Thanks. Everything else that like leads up to it is just like a means to an end. Like, I just want to do the swirl. Maybe we'll save that, because I'm not sure with this white if I'm going to be able to fill in the entire center. Oh, I think we will have enough. Gorgeous. I'm not like Katie from Royalty Soaps. I get most of the soap. I'm not like a scrapey like forever. Like good enough. This would look really cool if I was able to get just like a little strip of something down there. Let's have a little bit of white, so let's get the rest of that in there. Also, because Brandon washes my soap dishes, so the better I do the job that I do here, like a better job getting this on here, like the better overall. And I think, dude, actually, I think this is gonna look cool because I forgot that we still need to add our extra here. We're gonna add our mica here. Gotta find my little handy stir. Alright, let's get ready. So I'm going to pour a few lines here. We'll do one right there, and we'll do one right in the middle, because I think that'll look cool with the contrast with the white. And one more right here. Perfection, just enough. Getting better at this. Using the right amount of materials for like an entire soap. Okay. Tap, 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 tap. All right, here we go. So we're gonna sort of even out the top now. This is what my favorite part. It's the swirl, and we're just swirling this to create a blank canvas, and it smooths out the soap. That's one thing too. So like if one side of the soap is a little bit more than the other, this sort of like evens out the soap. Cute, cute, cute. I am loving this. I just a little bit of air bubbles here because when the batter's thicker, it has a tendency to do that. It looks like the batter's set up a little bit more than I remember last time, but we did stick blend it a little bit longer. So that's probably why. So we're having little air bubbles show up every now and then. I also didn't tap this on the floor, and I probably should have, so my fault. All right, so we created this cool sort of even texture, and I'm gonna try and do a better job today about doing this swirl. So we did this sort of hurricane swirl, and we'll do it again, but we'll try to be a little bit more, maybe I'll just do, yeah, I'm just gonna do half of this. Yeah, we'll do half. Not the perfect swirl. That's okay. That side of the cinnamon roll is looking a little funky. Just do a quick swirl here in the middle, and we're donesy. I'm gonna tap it on the floor now. Okay, and now we're done. We created another sort of like tiger swirl. Looks gorgeous. And we'll bring it back up. Hey, you missed me. I know you did. Hopefully that wasn't too weird with the cinematic mode from the new iPhone 13. I think it looks really cool right now, but I'll have to do a playback review of the video and see what that looked like. Okay, so thank you all for joining me. Again, remember to like, subscribe, share, whatever you want. And let me know if you have any questions. This was a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll have some more sessions like this. I don't know why I just said that weird. Okay, have a good night. Talk to you guys later. Bye.